Hey, ladies, I'm your host, Rebecca, and my goal is to lead women towards faith and confidence through the bumpy roads of life. Welcome to the She Bold podcast. Hi, ladies, and welcome back to the She Bold podcast. Today is episode number 12. Today, we're going to talk about toxic relationship. I think a lot of us has been down this road before, and lately I was having a conversation about this with my best friend, and we were like, how reckless were we back then, staying years after years in a toxic relationship until we hit rock bottom to finally get out of it. And sometimes it's not even that in that moment we wanted to get out, but more in a sense that God was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to allow this specific thing to happen so that way you will never go back ever again, you know? And looking at my past and what that relationship had made me go through, I was not even myself anymore. I had no identity because my identity was made by him. He was the priority over everything. And when I say he, I'm talking about my ex, right? And everyone else, even over myself. Like he was the priority over everything. And now I ask myself, why do we allow ourselves to go through so much pain and still choose to stay? Well, it all starts with how our relationship with God is. But let me share a bit of my testimony, okay? I was born and raised in the church, right? I've talked about that before, but that did not stop me from going dark for so many years. And you're probably wondering, how did I let myself go to the extreme opposite? Well, to be honest, it's because I didn't care about the right things. I was naive. I did not understand the calling of my life and how God was there all along, waiting for me to just come back to Him for good. And when I say for good, it's because during that season of my life, I was still going to church, I was still praying and all of that, but I was praying for God to do my will because I valued more the relationship with that man than my relationship with God. I kept begging him to make that relationship work because I wanted to stay in it, even though it was so toxic to me. And it came to a point that y'all are going to think that it's messed up, but I just feel like I need to be transparent about this. As I was saying, I became a Rebecca that I didn't even recognize, right? And a lot of people close to me don't even know what I'm about to say because I used to lie over and over again for years. I was literally living two lives. I'm not even kidding. This relationship became an idol to me. And since he was my identity, I wanted to be similar to him. So there's days that I was drinking, and I'm not talking about taking a few drinks, just having a good time. No, no, no. I'm talking about getting completely drunk and on top of that, mixing it with other things. All that to fit in more, to make him want to stay with me more, and all type of dumb other reasons. And you know what? I was still driving back home after doing all of those things, drunk and high. And you know what music I was blasting in my car? Worship music. While being drunk and high, I was listening to worship music on my way back home, driving under the influence of all of those things. And when I look back, I always say that God saved me from the worst because we all know how bad this could have ended, not only for me, but I could have gotten into an accident or whatever, and I would not have been the only one affected by the accident. It could have been someone else on the road also. But it's just messed up when I think about it because I did it so many times, and here I am still alive and still able to testify what I've been through. You know what I mean? But anyways, I was drowning in so much darkness, but my heart kept pulling me to God every single time. And every single time, I didn't even realize it until now because I didn't, how could I say that? My knowledge was not to the point that it is before. Even today, I mean, we still learn every single day. Our knowledge is never perfect. But back then, I was just, it's as if I knew it was wrong, but I chose to still do it. I chose to ignore the truth, to ignore the right path, and to just do me pretty much. But yeah, so ladies, when God is saying to you to not make anything an idol, people are also part of it. You should never, never allow a man to be priority over God. God comes first, and then your husband. And if you got all the signs that this relationship is not for you, or if certain people are trying to show you the things that you may not see, keep your ears open and bring it all to God. And don't tell him, Lord, please make it work. I love him, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you got to pray for God to remove him if he is not meant to be with you, and ask God to heal you through the separation. But at the same time, you also got to know that whenever God asks us to do something or take a big decision, is because he already equipped us with everything we need to get through it. Toxic relationships are no joke. They will tear you apart mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, especially spiritually. Once you get out, don't think that you can just ignore the past and move on. No, you got to keep your armor on and pray, fast, rebuke anything that was transferred during that relationship. Ask God to cleanse you, to restore you, and rebuke the soul ties. It may take a few days, it may take a few months, or even longer, but you will find your healing. You just got to believe you're not alone and you will never be. You have a father that is right here, waiting for you to run back, and his harm. He is your safe place, he is your comfort. He will never fail you. And trust me, the day you will find your husband, you will understand why the devil has been trying so hard to blind you with these relationships, because that man that God has in store for you will be more than your mind could ever picture. How do I know that? Because our God knows us more than we know ourselves. He knows our wants and needs, He knows our qualities and flaws, He knows our past, present, and future. So trust me, that man, your husband, your other half, your perfect fit, your list will have nothing on him. You're more valuable than you think. You deserve more than you think. And don't think you will never find someone else. You will, as long as you let God write your love story. He is the best author, after all.